Have you had the clap, Paul?
Shh, let's not get into that personal.
All right.
Okay, listen to this. Us two grumpy old carnivores are actually going to have, oh my God, I pulled the Georgio. Look at this.
You did it wrong. Usually I do.
I know. We're going to cook some I did it again. When did we start drinking the wine? So we're going to cook some vegetarian dishes. Portobello mushrooms. So what I do is I marinate them for close to 24 hours in a balsamic vinaigrette. So I have done that. I did it last evening. You have to cook the portobellos before you add the stuffing.
You could eat them raw. They wouldn't hurt you.
You could. Two ways to cook these portobellos. One is on the grill, which I generally do.
Oh, they smell good already.
I know. But the problem is, with so much oil in the balsamic vinaigrette, you really have to watch the flames on the grill, and a lot of times you will burn the portobellos. So I am going to cook.
Not on my grill.
Not on your grill. Yeah, he's got a fancy.
I have one that's
Anyhow, I'm going to put these in a 425-degree oven.
That's pretty hot, Paul.
It is hot. You want to roast these puppies for about 15 minutes. If you would like, I could show you what I do in the balsamic vinaigrette, or I could just explain it, right?
Explain it.
Explain
I think people...
Salt, pepper, chopped garlic, a teaspoon. We'll move it around to suit your taste. And a 2-to-1 ratio of olive oil to balsamic vinaigrette. A teaspoon of Dijon mustard. And my secret ingredient is a teaspoon or so of sugar. You mix that puppy up. You can use it as a great salad dressing. It is a phenomenal marinade, and you can marinate chicken and pork chops and a whole bunch of other things. And it's a perfect marriage. What are you doing with my?
Why isn't
Turn it.
What?
Off the spark setting.
Oh, well, you can tell I have electric at home. No gas. Well, I have gas, but not that.
Yeah, you get gas a lot.
Yeah.
So take it away, Georgio.
We all like Bolognese sauce. It's one of my favorites. You know, with the ground beef and all that.
That's not vegetarian.
No, I know. But I found a recipe. And the recipe, it is vegetarian. And I think this is going to be kind of fun. We're going to use a couple of things, like onion, celery, which is also in a standard Bolognese sauce, and carrots. Going to have all of those in there, and dried porcini mushroom. And what I'm going to do is just throw them in some boiling water for about 5 minutes or so, and that'll start to give the meat texture.
What do you have, a rock in this thing?
Well, it's water.
Heavy water.
But just put some salt in, not all of that, but a good amount, because that's the only chance, when you're doing pasta, the only chance to really salt it.
You ever been to Japan?
Then. I was born in Japan. You didn't know that.
Sumo wrestlers?
Yes. It's going to be a really nice vegetarian. One of the things you got to do is you got to prepare the other vegetables. So I have a red onion. If you don't have a red onion, you can't make this recipe. Yes, you can. It's perfectly fine. Well, this is why it's fun. You know, it's kind of fun to do this. All right, so there's my onion.
Don't add the dish rag.
That gives it more texture. This was a big challenge.
Jeez, can you chop softer?
It's rough chopping all of this stuff. Some celery. Just put that over there.
Speaking of track, you're going to put the fungi in the hot water?
Is it hot?
Yes.
I would have you put half of these in here. You know, I'll put a good amount. Was at the store today looking for them, and I asked where they were, and the poor guy must have been new, and he said, porcini mushrooms?
In the porcini department.
And he said, let me get somebody to help you with that. And I didn't think it was that big a deal, but, you know, the whole thing. So those only have to go, we're just softening them up. If you're going to make this recipe and you didn't have the porcini mushrooms, I didn't want to go through all that. Don't worry about it. Use whatever you got. We're also going to take the juice that those are in and use that and throw that in the sauce. But these are whole peeled San Marzano. People love them. They say they're really good. So we have the nice whole mushrooms. These are not mushrooms. These are tomatoes. But I get confused sometimes.
Senile old men cooking.
Yes. I did wash my hands before I did this, but it wouldn't matter anyway. If you didn't wash your hands, it doesn't matter. You're going to heat it up in a big thing. It doesn't matter. So we're going to prep these by kind of just squeezing them all down. So I'm not quite sure why we start with whole tomatoes and then squeeze them. So you could use crushed tomatoes. It wouldn't matter. You want all the texture. That's what this is all about, is to get nice texture. See how that's going, Paul? You ever done this? Squeeze the tomato?
I've never admitted to
You
it.
would never squeeze the tomato. A lot of times people are afraid to play with food. Nah, don't get right in there. Play with the food. Did we get them?
There's your
Did
fungi, and I kept the water.
You kept the water. That's good. You listened. You paid attention.
Wasn't like the last time I put the duck fat in here.
Oh, what he did to me.
You know what it reminds me of is that I Love Lucy
What,
episode where
which?
she and
The
Ethel
chocolate
Mertz
factory?
are stomping on the grapes.
Oh, yes. Yes. Classic.
You got to be over 60 to know what I'm talking about.
Are you over 60?
Yeah.
Oh.
Got a phony
Am
ID.
I?
Got a phony ID.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I got to what?
Use that.
No. All right. Okay. I was going to use your. Okay. There you go. We've got our veggies all just kind of rough chopped. What we're going to do, and you'll see in a moment, we're going to put this in a food processor, chop it all up with some thyme. Do we have the time to do this? Okay. So
It's
we
a
got some
line that we have used
too often.
a lot over time.
Ooh, you're laughing at your own joke.
Yes, I am.
You know that.
Nobody else does.
No. By the way, if you just take a portobello, put a little olive oil on it, and grill it, put it between a couple pieces of bread, and make it like a hamburger,
Unbelievable.
many people won't know the difference.
In fact, I think there's a restaurant chain that's doing it now, serving like Portobello burgers.
They're not portobello burgers, they're different. And the restaurant chain is a small chain called Burger King.
No.
Have
I'm
you
talking
heard them?
about, yeah, I've heard of
No.
those guys.
Have you had one of those?
No.
Yes, I had one, and you almost cannot tell.
Really?
Yeah?
But you could slice thinly a portobello, put it on a bun,
Yep.
and even with, marinate it, but even without any sauce, it
Yes.
tastes delicious.
Garlic.
You can do anything to your heart's content. The bulk of the stuffing
Yes.
is going to be spinach. So,
Healthy.
yes. And then there'll be a lot of cheese, but if you really are looking at the calories and health
Okay.
stuff, then you can use low fat.
You're not using vegan cheese. You could do that if you wanted to. And it would,
Vegan cheese.
yeah,
That's an oxymoron.
You have to be careful how you cook it. Doesn't always. It surprises you sometimes.
Is that a real thing? Or did you make
Yes.
that?
No, I did not make that up.
on, get it.
Vegan cheese. But we're not using that. We're using regular cheese. So it doesn't make it vegan. It makes it vegetarian, but not vegan.
Baby spinach.
Yep.
You can actually use the big spinach, grown-up spinach, but no, baby
No.
spinach is good.
Sure. Rip them out of the hearts of their spinach mothers. Oh, just
Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a tad of balsamic to it.
so a tad is roughly equivalent to. Yeah, about like that. Yeah, I like that.
And seasoning can be to your heart's content.
Well,
I'm sort of debating what I'm going to use here.
hurry up before it
I'm
burns.
going to use a little oregano, powdered. You know what? Italian seasoning.
Well, I'm a big fan of.
You
already
introduced me to this.
made- Yes. Yeah. And the
Salt.
the glory of those are, if you make them by scratch, you need to buy a lifetime supply of about 6 different herbs, and you won't ever use them. So you can buy one that somebody else has already done it, and it's every bit as good.
It reduced down a lot.
It goes away.
You'll notice we aren't really talking about amounts here. You kind of eyeball it, figure out what you're going to need. Sometimes I add a bit of sherry.
That wouldn't hurt.
I don't know why I do that, but it seems to add a bit of sweetness, maybe?
Someday we're going to, and this will drive him crazy, this Paul will balk at this. We'll do some recipes that use bases like a can of cream of mushroom soup. See, I knew. And you add sherry to that, some chicken,
Why don't you buy some
few other
rice-a-roni
things,
or
and
something?
you bake that, and it comes out delicious, and it's like no time at all, no fooling around. He likes to start from scratch, see. I know that about him, but
That's
I
like
promise
getting
you all,
mighty fine chocolate pudding and calling it chocolate mousse. You know, I mean, that's...
well, if you add real whipped cream to it, who would know? See? So, we'll do a show on stuff,
Fakery. On fakery cooking.
fakery cooking.
I'm going to test these portobellos.
Well, they've been in for an hour and a half. They should be all
they're
right
delicious.
by now. Are they okay?
Perfect.
Perfect?
Because I might have overdone them by a minute or two, but not much.
Oh,
because
the truth comes out.
The stuffing is cooked. So basically, all you're going to do is put them back in the oven to melt the cheese. We're going to put it on some mozzarella.
Are you going to get rid of some of that
And I'm going to drain
Liquid.
that oil when we take a break.
when we take a break?
Yeah, which is coming up.
Yeah, because then we can get other things ready. We'll be back.
Oh, look who's hiding in the closet. Monsieur Food Processor. Oh, much too complicated to bother with. Thank goodness somebody put on his thinking cap. Presenting Shortcut. Music, please. It can do anything the big processors can, but it leaves the counter's face to you to clean up your dishwasher. Music, please. A shortcut. How intelligent. Unlike others I know.
Shortcut from Black & Decker.
All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over to the food processor, and we're going to grind all this up. And I have to be kind of careful to get this.
Don't forget your time over here.
I don't have time for that right now. All right, so we just put all our veggies in. And if you were putting liquids in, you'd have to, you couldn't put this much liquid in, but you can put in this much stuff that you're going to grind. This is fresh thyme from my wife's garden. You peel it down like this because we've got, it's a woody, pulpy thing, which probably wouldn't matter right now because we're going to grind it to pieces. So, but let's not risk it and put the pulp in. We'll just put the thyme in. You should spend a little time doing, no, I can't do this. No, I know. No more time jobs. They kind of just pulse this. This is great fun. Now we're going to check it. Oh, so you see, look at that. Doesn't even look like anything, but this is going to be the essence of the sauce. The next step is I'm going to put it in my Dutch oven with some butter. And we're going to cook this down a little bit, and then we'll continue on. But that's all you have to do. If you got one of these pulses, you saw how easy it is. It's great fun too.
There we go. All right.
We can be trained.
I'm going to make my sauce for my tacos. A quarter of a cup, very liberal, quarter of a cup cilantro. 3 tablespoons of mayo.
What would we do without mayo?
I know. You know something? I'm going to add just a tad more mayo. I went heavy on the cilantro. I like to say that.
Cilantro. It's a
No,
nice
you got a
word.
cilantro. The juice of 1 lime, and I also add some lime zest before I squeeze the lime. A little zazz. A little sriracha. Now, you can, whoa, it's jumping at me. Watch this stuff. It's pretty hot.
Good thing you didn't get in the Bolognese. Not supposed to be in the Bolognese.
Huh?
Not supposed to be in here. You didn't get any in here. Did you try?
Boy, that was hot. I'm checking my notes. If you finally chop up the cilantro, you can just mix it up. Now I'm going to go back to the second stage of the portobellos. Remember, we sauteed the red onion, garlic, spinach. I'm going to load that on top of the little cooked portobellos.
Yep.
What did we cook for? 14 minutes, I guess. We let them.
Yeah.
And we left them in there a bit.
Yeah, did it cook down?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because portobellos in their raw state, they're actually fairly tough.
Those are definitely not raw.
No. George, you got the childproof, the childproof thing.
Because I've always been, yeah. So easy a kid could open it.
Now, as I said, if you want to watch your fat content, you can use
Mozzarella.
light fat.
No, mozzarella.
But this is whole milk
Yeah,
mozzarella.
that's good.
We're not going to blast these in the oven. It's just going to kind of heat them up to melt this. But that's why I always cover my pan with this tin foil.
Yes, because the
And it
cheese
helps
sticks.
in the cleanup. A bit of Parmigiano Reggiano. No butter.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
I always have an argument with my wife about the difference between salted and unsalted. She says, well, you're going to put salt in. Anyway.
You've had arguments
that's
with me.
True. But this way we'll regulate how much salt we want to put in. 4 tablespoons of butter.
Oof.
Now look, if you didn't want to use 4 tablespoons of butter, you could use olive oil too. And eventually, when this cooks down a little bit, we're going to add the tomatoes. And we're going to add some of this. I found this basil, which is fresh basil, in a tube.
Why do they call the capital of Switzerland Basel?
Basil and not basil?
Yeah.
Because basil is
Be
more
confusing.
expensive.
Be confusing.
But
You stay in
That's-
Basel, Switzerland. It's pretty
smell that. It
expensive.
smells like basil. So I thought I'd try this. I thought this was kind of a good idea because a lot of times you have basil and chop it up. You need a ton of it, or not so much of it, and you buy a package of it, and you pay $5.95 for the package. You use a little bit of the basil, and then what you need to do is put it in the refrigerator, and then come back in 2 weeks when it's all moldy.
Case in point.
We all do it. We all do it. It's just the way it is. I love wooden spoons. Wooden shoes, not so much, but I like wooden spoons. So we're going to cook these down for a few minutes. Do you need a wooden spoon? Actually, you do. This is a coated Dutch oven. For all intents and purposes, you look at this, you'd swear there was ground Hamburg in it. But
You didn't
there's-
sneak any in, did you?
Huh?
You didn't sneak any in. did you?
No, I did not.
The Egyptians, used pepper to preserve bodies after they died.
Perfectly timed, just as I'm going to put pepper in.
They even believed, no doubt because she told them so, that she had the ability to reincarnate herself.
But didn't all the Egyptians believe in an afterlife?
I do like fresh ground pepper. And there's no excuse to not have fresh ground pepper when you've got one of these.
Now, here's where a little of the disagreement comes in. This isn't vegetarian, as we say. But I have made a shrimp taco. Giorgio and 3 other friends of mine have said, that's not legit. And I said, wait a minute, what about a Presbyterian? I mean, excuse me, a Pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
Pescatarian. Do Presbyterians eat fish?
Not on Friday. A coleslaw.
Yeah, I bought a coleslaw mix. I'm going to make 2 or 3 of these, so I'm only going to use like a third, maybe. Some red onion, which I have prepared earlier, very thinly sliced. Every kitchen should have one of these. It's a mandoline. And they
Not this
no,
type?
not that type.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you can't play this. It is to slice very thin, vegetables, what have you. They vary in price. If you went on Amazon, you'd see one for $19, or you can get the super fancy one for $150. All right.
Not worth it. Get the $19.
A friend of my daughter and son-in-law gave me this about 25 years ago, and it has served me very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I will tell you,
See what he has in his hand there?
The guard. Make sure you use this every time. Otherwise, you'll look like this. Believe me, this is, you could shave with this. That is
Yes.
so sharp and
Yes.
it is scary. But here's one of the things I'm going to do. Now, as I said, don't use it without the guard.
I don't even
But I'm
want to
gonna-
watch. I don't want to watch.
I'm going to use some radish
Paper thin. You can see through these radish.
and some mango.
Tango?
Mango.
Oh.
Here it is. Look at that. And we're going to add the dressing.
Yes.
You can add some more cilantro at this point if you wanted to. You mix it up.
Keeping it in the bowl.
Try to keep it in the bowl. You're going to add just a tad of sugar.
Ooh.
A little bit of salt.
Oh, yeah. Sweet and sour. Those are big pieces of mango.
I know, I probably could cut them a little smaller.
Run them through the food processor.
Nah.
You make a puree. While you're doing that, all I'm going to do is something very simple.
Yeah, get out of here. Ooh, it sounds good.
Just want to kind of simmer it. Back here, we did soften the porcini mushrooms. Well, you save that. Put that right in the sauce. That adds a little extra flavor. Now, it's starting to look like a bolognese.
It's starting to
It's
look.
starting to look a lot like Christmas.
Go
Go ahead,
ready?
Paul. Yeah.
Taco shells. You can also make burritos out of this, by the way. But I'm using the flat bottom.
But you didn't get the burrito shell.
I prefer the taco. Now, what I'm going to do is lay down a base of the slaw and mango mix.
So this is pescatarian,
Presbyterian.
and which means that you eat fish.
That is correct. And there is some discussion as to whether or not this could be called a vegetarian dish, but
Well, you wouldn't listen to me. You never do.
looks nice, doesn't it?
It does. Keep going. I'm going to put about a quarter of a cup.
Hey, I'm not done here yet.
I know. I just want to get this all cooking.
I have used frozen shrimp, and there are excellent brands of frozen shrimp. They come from, a lot of it comes from the Far East. Some of it sometimes you get from Gulf waters. I have cut them in half lengthwise. That way they lie very nice in the taco shell. George,
Yeah, I'm watching.
I don't care what the Presbyterians say. This is good stuff, man. Look at that baby. You serve it with wedges of lime.
A wedgie?
Yeah, I make a wedgie. Maybe I'll make a
Yeah.
thin wedgie. We like the hot stuff a little bit. And what you would do is if you have people over.
Taste buds have gone.
Yeah, no, but you can serve it like this. Put a squeeze of lime in and hit it with a little bit of more sriracha. I'm going to just do one. This will be mine.
Oh,
Now,
do you want any shrimp with that?
is that cool or what? Huh?
It's wonderful. Look at it. It looks beautiful. So what I'm going to do now, and I didn't add it on purpose earlier, the wonderful basil that I got.
Basil.
So I'm going to put a good dollop of this in. This would be almost a half a cup if I were measuring it. And this is really, I'm excited about this product that I just discovered.
I'm so excited, Emma.
Well, not that excited. And then to brighten the sauce that I've got here, I'm going to put 2 more tablespoons of butter. If I can find where to.
I hope
pull
my
the
cardiologist
tab up.
isn't
Here we-
watching this show.
No, they're not. I'm going to start to cook in just a few minutes my tortellini. I got the fun ones. They're all different colors. 3 different colors. They taste the same, folks, and there's cheese in these.
I always knew you were a bit cheesy.
We're going to do this in, maybe 5 minutes or so. They're essentially mostly cooked. We're warming them. And then what we'll do is we'll add them to the sauce.
Hey, we ought to make some pasta one of our shows.
Do you have a little
No, I've been
machine?
toying with. My wife has forbade me to buy. She says I've got too many gizmos. But I think a pasta machine.
Yeah.
Maybe I could hide it at your place.
No, then my wife would blame me. See, we have a real nice bolognese sauce. So quite pleased with here so far. I'm going to taste this in a minute. I once tasted with the same spoon I was cooking with,
There's a clean spoon.
and my spouse saw the show and said, "Don't do that again." So we're taking.
They got mad at that episode where we're dipping our fingers into some sauce repeatedly.
Oh, we have a review board. His wife and my wife. Hang on here. It's good.
Survey says.
Yep, very good.
Why
I'm
you
gonna
just
let
say
this
just say good and then very good?
Well, it's very good.
Does it sing?
No. You just cook this down a little bit more, and it's a great sauce. It's going to be good, and you could fool your friends with it too. You don't have to say it's vegetarian at all.
Oh, perfect.
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 You'd say that anyway.
I know. I'm going to take them out because they're hot.
Don't burn yourself, Paul.
Look at that. Lightly brown. Would you
Yeah,
get the camera in on this, baby?
it's truly a pretty dish.
It is a pretty dish, and it's
Yeah.
true vegetarian. It's not
That
Presbyterian.
one, that's right. That one's true. All right, Mike. Oh, these tortellinis look so nice. You won't notice them in the sauce. You get them in the sauce here. All right, my sauce is thickening.
Do you like the way we always talk about how our food looks and tastes so great?
If we do say so ourselves.
Something's bubbling over there.
Well, yeah. I mean, all those veggies are all cooking nicely. It's all cooked down. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is carefully, let's see, we're going to turn this to off. Okay.
You want a sieve or a
No.
slotted spoon?
I got a slotted cover here.
Yummy. Yummy.
Here we go. Look at that. And all the different colors. And we have a Bolognese sauce, and that is it. That's done. Now, you've got a portion for 4.
A big 4.
Big 4. But the nice thing about this keeps well. So you can serve it again. So in a minute, we'll plate it. A nice salad would be good with this.
Ooh.
The cheese I like to use is Parmesan, but shredded Parmesan, rather than the finely minced stuff. Paul does his own. What?
This is a better presentation than the time when I dumped the shrimp etouffee.
Yes, the etouffee. So I just like the looks of it, the shredded Parmesan. And if you make a Caesar salad, this is a really good topping on the Caesar salad. The other way is to get the cheese that's been flaked, big pieces.
Wait a minute.
We got some Portobellos coming.
Quick as a bunny. Look at that.
Oh, there you have
True
it.
vegetarian, somewhat Presbyterian.
Pescatarian, Paul. Pescatarian. There it is.
Yeah. We're done.
This is a first for us.
What do
No
you mean?
meat.
I know, it's weird.
No meat.
I feel faint. No, it's good. This could be a whole new life.
In all seriousness, this
Yeah.
you could serve to anybody.
And
You
they're
don't
all
have-
colorful. I mean, you might be able to dress this up with something. I don't know.
You got that hot sauce on it. They
Yeah,
won't
hot
notice.
sauce.
Once they
No.
bite into that, they
Take
won't
care
notice.
of it,
There's another one in the can, as they say.
as we say.
And-
And we're now,
and we're in the wrapper.
and we're in the wrapper.
This also means we're married, I think.
I don't know. Good eating.
Take care.
Stay tuned.
Have fun cooking.
We'll be back. Cooking beef.
Maybe.
Cooking
Maybe.
beef.
Maybe. Yeah, beef. We'll do whole hog, man.
Oh, a whole pig. I'd love to do a roast suckling pig with a
Oh, man. You have the apple
apple.
in there?
Whew.